Family, gather in. We are here back again. The channel is Mr. Biscuit Speaks. Do me a favor. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Comment preemptively if this is the kind of content that you are here for. Fam, listen, salute to anybody who is a father or mother of an only child. I have a 5-year-old, and like the way that their minds work, like if it's an only child, right, then she doesn't have another kid to like test out the boundaries of conversation necessarily. And so my daughter's like, what if you were bit by a snake? And I said, that would hurt. And she was like, no, what if the snake was poisonous? And I said, well, then I would maybe die or get sick. And she said, well, what if there was a medicine? And I said, well, then I would take the medicine. But she said, well, what if the medicine was bird poop? And then I was quiet for a while, and I knew that this was really what the whole experiment was about, whether I would eat bird poop to save my life. So after short, brief, I'd say, okay, fine. I guess I'll eat the bird poop if it means that I'm not going to die. And then she falls back laughing, imagining me eating bird poop to save my life, using the bird poop venom. This is the mind of a 5-year-old child, at least mine. Family, we're going into Cochise, Audioslave. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is the most highly recommended song that we go into next after the last Audioslave drop. Family, without any further ado, we're going to get right into it. We're going to go ahead and let him cook. Cook, please. Guys, when the beat is simple like that, I'm telling you. Yeah, I know I repeat myself a lot, but it's like it almost preps you for something larger than life. It's a conversation we need to have when the beat starts off simple. You get that boom, clap, boom, boom, clap. Let's hear it again. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I got to go back again. I got to let him cook. I need you to come back in with that intro. I mean, listen, guys, I know that this is the same band, essentially, from Rage Against the Machine, but can't you just hear Zach cooking over that kind of beat? Because I know this isn't Rage. I know. You can hear him, right? Come on! That riff is crazy. Yo, that's brutal, first of all. I've been drinking life while you've been nauseous. And so I drink to health while you kill yourself. Guys, that's a brutal dichotomy there. Have you ever been, and I know, likely you have been, have you ever had to just watch someone slowly destroy themselves without any, life raft? And what decision have you made as a result of that? I mean, do you hold on to that friendship that you can't do anything about necessarily? It's very interesting that he would sing this to this kind of, beat. It doesn't necessarily seem like they go together. I'm going to keep listening. Let them cook. Just one thing, guys. Just really quickly. I know I paused too much. Pardon me. When it says, I drink to health while you kill yourself, the assumption there is like, look, I'm not going to stop living my best life just because I love you and I'm watching you live your worst one. Guys, I mean, you have to respect something like that, right? Yo. I need some help, please, in the comments below. What is going on with what appears to be a celebration over a very, very dark conversation that we're having here? Where do you think that they get that dichotomy from? What was the mindset behind saying, hey, we're going to have fireworks going off. We're going to have like this amazing riff that just sounds like we all kind of want to party and we want to celebrate. And guys, maybe that's the idea. You know, he says, look, I'm drinking to health. Right? I've been drinking the life. I'm actually celebrating mine while you're losing yours. Maybe that's what kind of has me feeling weird about the dark conversation up against a celebratory, musical tone here. Guys, that's very interesting. I'm going to go back a couple bars and let them cook. Damn. Oh, that's fire. Yeah. Family, I have had people, this is very, very profound, right? And these decisions that he's making in the lyrics are not controversial. They're not non-controversial, right? He says, you better understand, I'm not going to hold your hand. But if it helps you mend, then I won't stop it. He's like, look, you are somebody who is an addict. You're somebody who's going down the wrong road. And I'm not going to preach to you because that wouldn't help anyway. Maybe he's already been through that phase. Right? He said, I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to try to stop you from doing the thing you do. Oh, but at the same time, I'm not going to go get it for you. I'm not going to get in the car with you. I'm not going to, my life is going to be separate. I'm going to do this celebratory thing where I embrace life while unfortunately watching you live yours and kind of go down that lane. Jeez. The reason that it just strikes me as deeply profound is because I'm going through something right now in my life with a certain someone who's like, okay, I don't necessarily want to always be around someone who has toxic things to say about what they're experiencing in life. Because then I'm no longer sensitive to that toxic element, right? It becomes my new normal. And I don't want my new normal to be that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to give yourself a distance. This is a tough conversation. You know what's crazy is maybe this, because the thing that's in my mind kind of the most is how wild and crazy this is, but maybe it also represents the fast life that the person he's talking to is living. I mean, yeah, it sounds, celebratory. It sounds wild. But somebody who's going down a dark path, their life is exciting and novel too. It just has the dark consequences, I don't know.
If you want, and I'll see you at the bottom when you crawl on my skin and put the blame on me so you don't feel a
That was one of the most painful screams I think I've heard on this channel, and we've heard a lot of them. That one was gut-wrenching right there.
Gonna save yourself and take it on me. Gonna save yourself and take it on me. Gonna save yourself and take it on me. Gonna save yourself and take it on me.
Wow. And they all did kind of a group hug on stage afterwards. Listen, my mom kicked me out of the house when I was 17. And, my mother passed about 4 years ago. And I was lucky enough that before she passed, I was able to thank her for kicking me out of the house. Because if she hadn't done that, I wouldn't have had the ability to save myself. The chorus of this song says, go ahead and save yourself and take it out on me. When she kicked me out, I was I was couch surfing, a couple of my, my friends. And, I took it out on her. I was saying, doing this, and all I did was that, but I was just running around. I didn't have the type of authority in my life. My mom and dad broke up when I was 6. And so, I was just testing boundaries. I was stronger than my mom. I wasn't intimidated by her authority. And so I was just, living a crazy life. And she decided to kick me out. And that is what caused me to hit rock bottom and to say, hey, I really need to kind of turn things around here. And I took it out on her. And, my mom and I developed, we had a friendship. And we weren't enemies, before she passed or anything. But I'm so glad I got to reapproach her and say, thank you for doing the hard work. And because it was very difficult for her to watch that. My sister's still living at home, my little sister, and for me to be kicked out and, not know where I am or what I'm doing. But I needed that in order to save myself. This was very, very deep, family. Let me know what I have missed and what's next from Audioslave. I love, what I said before about Rage Against the Machine versus Audioslave. Rage was kind of like, let's do this outward change. And then Audioslave is, the inward change. Let's look inward and kind of find ourselves. This song was fire. Family, have an amazing week. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Drop a comment for me, would you, just for the algorithm? Also, join the Patreon. There's behind the scenes stuff there on the Patreon. Also, if you want to recommend a song, it's $50 on the PayPal to get in the queue. Family, I appreciate you and love you, family.